Well, we were gifted with one not awful plane path G-Clef, but we are here with another pretty bad one, pretty Western heavy, so a lot of the Eastern drops, which is where quite a bit of the locations, the drop spots are on Erangel, are could be pretty difficult to get to here.
And all of a sudden, VLG goes to school and apartments. I don't think it's happening.
Man.
I don't think that's happening anytime soon in this tournament until maybe the final round in day 6.
Well, you might have VLG get a wild idea. They're not going to do it this round, but I was thinking if 4AM kind of keeps doing really well, you might see, VLG just try to stop them. Just try to go in at the apartments and just try to, stop this run that they are on.
And Gen G has again decided to go North George. So no real big contest, as we did have some early fights. Ooh.
Fever drop.
You happy?
This is not what either team wants.
You happy?
Oh no, he's done. I mean, that should be toast. Yep, the Tank Chay's gonna do it. And Xiaoke, and there's nowhere for him to run, nowhere for him to hide. And he is gonna be left to die. Circle center-ish. And nobody's really over on the eastern half of it, of course, because of that plane path. Tank Chay is gonna loop around and finish the job on a Xiaoke.
I think Xiaoke wanted to have some luck on the gun spawn and maybe didn't really have the best call from his teammate. They are also spread out, not in that military base, but near, in between Novo and Mill base.
He might have thought he had the better drop on the vehicle and he just misjudged a little bit. And because if he can get that UAS, he could probably get out of there safely, barring a lucky AK headshot.
So last time, Saverny, no luck against K7 this time. They do go into Novo, but Africa Freaks, they do have control over the bridge side, the right bridge, coming out from the Sosnovka Island. So that's going to be a hard exit for New Happy, unless they take the boat.
That's true. The boat is definitely in play, I'd say, in this situation. You could actually do something cheeky and go up to Lipovka even and come in from over there. Most teams are very comfortable eating a little bit of blue, especially if they know they can get in.
Yeah, it's also because of the flight path, and you don't expect too many teams directly into Lipovka or even the prison mansion, even into Milta Power. You just got a taste of Africa Freaks, so I think they can also use that boat. That's a pretty good option, knowing the flying path.
100%. I'd definitely be considering it if I'm New Happy, and they can't afford to have another bad. I mean, just getting bopped by K7 out of Saverny. I don't think a lot. A, I wasn't expecting that drop to happen at all. B, if you're telling me that it's New Happy versus K7, I'd probably give the edge to New Happy in the fight. I've got no disrespect to K7 at all. They're very, very good, but some really sick mutant shots that you were keying in on, man, from K7 really sealed the deal.
And I don't know too many people who actually likes to use that gun, honestly. It's a gun that you use because it is the only gun in front of you at the moment.
I don't want to steal. I don't want to steal. Yes, you're absolutely right. And you had a great phrase in here, because I said I actually have a few friends who like to use the mutant. What did you?
Because they're mutant. They're inhuman.
I love that.
I don't know any person. I played PUBG with maybe several hundred people.
I have weird friends. That's all I got to say, man. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Right now, there isn't a lot of crazy stuff going on the map. Most teams are still looting up. OGN is sending Sungjong out early to the Potato Mountain. This has been the story of the tournament with these types of circles for Entis. Early rotations out of Pachinki towards Potato.
Exactly. As he will just seek out. And because there has been some early rotation by 4 AM yesterday in, I believe, game number 3, and that has been the only one, but just in case, because 4 AM will actually give you a challenge once they take the high ground control.
Well, 4 AM learned their lesson, though, yesterday with Entis coming up there and them losing too early to a battle there. You can see, if you were looking at the map, Godvi and Xiaolu have already left and headed over towards the compound where Entis got their win. Actually, they've headed over to that one. Ghibli is not fighting 4 AM, guys, so if you tuned in to find this early battle fight, it hasn't happened. We've had a lot of other early battles on Erangel, but it hasn't been this one.
Yep, BLG love to get some points, but other than apartments and other than school, they take most of the other houses on control, and they get a lot of those vehicles at the same time from the garage. So a pretty good spread, and also lots of loot time from the Atlantis and also Rosehawk. they're pretty safe. They get a lot of those information from the bridge. Also knows that there are not too many teams around them for a pretty long time.
It was another North George drop for Gen G.
Yes.
Just to shift gears, since we saw them on our screen there for a second, New Happy is going across the road in front of Petrichor Road, who is watching it, but they haven't popped off yet to see if they can catch anybody. They might try to go for Lycanon, the last member of New Happy, attempting to cross that bridge. But yeah, for Gen G, North George is now going to have to be their home. Tianba is waiting, though. Tianba is trying to make sure that Gen G does not get anywhere. I mean, Tianba just looks like they have a grudge against Gen G for even trying to fight them.
Yeah, low-key barely making an escape all the way towards near the water, making sure he has no angle, because once you open any angle to Tianba, they will get those headshots, even if you're moving in a vehicle. So safe and sound for Lucky. Full squad so far for Gen G looks great. They're still in the circle. I mean, all they have to go into Rozhok. They probably know that VLG already has moved out towards the apartment or even towards the eastern side.
Yeah, VLG will always do that. Exactly. They'll leave Rozhok right away, whatever the situation is. They don't want to stick around there. They're not going to hang out on the hill to the south of Rozhok. They're going to go for, like you mentioned, eastern apartments for sure. Detonation Gaming White slowly making their way out of Yaz. New Happy has rolled up pretty far, but now they're next to Afrika Freaks, and even though they've gotten past the farm, they might run into somebody. Roa is waiting here on top of the hill. Is he going to get one? No, it's going to be two, and it is going to be Roa who goes down.
Oh, the rising shot was pretty good. Roa was not able to get the initial knock. A little too bad, as they were pretty spread apart, getting those big compounds that we had the last circles on yesterday.
Yeah, for Giao, he is pretty banged up, but he's going to come out of it with his life for now. MCG watching this rotation as well as New Happy.
Again.
They like this ditch. I mean, apparently this is the one, this is last year in 2019. This was Tempo Storm's ditch. Every time in every global event and in NA, this is the ditch that they were always notorious for taking. Now we might be able to start calling it the New Happy ditch because they really seem to favor it as well.
Yeah, actually, and this time, though, they want to spread out a little bit further, even towards Yasnaya a little, because MCG's also got a pretty big spread around where OG and Entis got the chicken dinner yesterday on Erangel.
Speaking of 2019, when I look at the map, and our map feeds are available, guys, so make sure you're watching that as well, because there's a lot of important things that go on that we aren't able to catch on the screen, especially during the early part of the game.
Go into the squad mode and you'll see the map. Yeah,
exactly. And so this looks like 2019, where all the teams are really fanned out. There's a lot of big 1-1, 1-1 splits, a few 2-2 splits here and there. But this is quite fascinating because, like, for most of the turn, it's been really dead center heavy. Hold the phone. Hikari going to find Machao. That is a quick down with that iron sight Scar. Going to start throwing his grenades in there to see if he can finish the job. The first one a bit too far. Gokuri's going to keep the handle on his teammate, trying to res him. Deva now on the flank.
That's a good angle.
Oh boy, Detonation Gaming White might have rolled up into a disaster.
Oh, that's a pretty hard timing to actually. You did throw a couple more, but because of the angle from Deva, might be actually hard to get that second res and escape out of VLG.
No, this is awful. I don't know what Detonation Gaming can white. Melifo is trying to help, but from afar, but there really isn't much he can do right now. You do have Lycanon putting some shots into Lambu. Oh my goodness, that circle. Another hard shift down to the southwest. Horrible, right into infantry territory down there. Spear has a bolt. And again, if you're seeing Korean players bolting, it's not because they want to, it's because they couldn't find anything else.
Usually. You usually want to keep
other
the
than
only.
one player from MTech. That's the only one who likes to do it.
And VLG, they're okay. They were okay until the circle shifted all the way south. They were okay with the fight, but they know that they have to clean up now. Hikari again, Lambu bringing down shots from the side, but can't really get the exact shot because of that smoke.
Yeah, he's got the SKS. It shocks. He's trying to get it done. Deva does finish Gokuri. Deva does get a knock onto Machao. I don't know how all three are still alive, or were still alive until very recently for Detonation Gaming White, but it's such patient, persistent play for VLG. They're not overextending. No one's getting knocked. They know they can't afford to lose a member because of how spread out they are.
Melifo just staying on the back because he knows that the rest of the squad is in trouble. They cannot escape. He has to just go for that next circle. And if the up for a challenge, Sun Sisters actually came into here.
Wow. Sun Sister, you were saying they need to be a little more aggressive. Now might be the time. Zhao Yang does get that first 8 off, though, before Kendes can do it. Kendes, he moves around the side, but it is going to be... Oh my god, he outdoes it! I thought Zhao Yang was going to get him there for a second, but no. Kendes holds on with a little help from his friends. He is going to finish the job.
I think Zhao Yang came all the way to the side, used a lot of... May have ran out of bullet at the perfect time.
Did Minsung shoot into that as well? I just saw Minsung up on the hill watching all of this from afar. Like that weird Alfred Hitchcock movie. He's hanging out and seeing what's going on.
Yeah, infantry, I think they wanted too much space out in the open, as they have gathered up now, but lost a member because of that PO again, extending a little bit too far. That's a big loss for Gen G again in the rotation.
This just has to stop. The rest of Gen G was already piecing out, and they don't want any more of this. Oh my god, AO, he's gonna go down. But AO does get 2. Loki's still alive. Grenading bead chalked up for Silky. It's in. Is it going to connect with the final member of Gen G? Not enough doing. Loki is trying to hold on.
Coming.
Yeah, OPGG should just finish the job here. Alvaca drives fast. He's going to see the backside of Loki.
Oh, he gets hurt.
Oh my god, what is going on? Loki tries to side seat swap. Isn't able to do it. And it is going to be OPGG that knocks Gen G out for the week.
16th place.
Yikes. It's not quite that bad, but they're in this round 16th, 11th overall. Yes,
that you see
16th in
certainly
this round.
Not the place that you would expect Gen G to be at.
No.
After the end of day number 2, but OPGG, that was a pretty good fight, even though that was a pretty late join fight from the rest of the squad. Still being able to keep that rotation that did hurt a lot for Gen G. They will not be able to grab any more points from now on.
Look at New Happy. Look at this. They've gone all the way down to Sosnovka Island. I literally just saw this on my map feed.
Didn't they go up the bridge? They came back down?
Yeah. They were all the way up past Shelter. I mean, they were hanging out north of Shelter because they took that dip. And now they've come all the way back down because they know that eastern side of the circle is going to be dangerous. They're taking a bit of a risk here, but it could pay off.
That's risky. But if you know that they're not too many teams are actually putting pressure from the ferry pier or even the gas station next to it, I think that's actually a pretty nice rotation from New Happy. As we do see K7 moving in towards MCUG, even if Freaker Freaks, they can hear them, but getting no angle to actually directly shoot on.
And the nice thing about this rotation for New Happy as well is that they can get up to the lighthouse and get some info from up there as to what's going on. So I really, really like it for that reason. Ghibli, in the meantime, has found the backside of 4AM. Clef.
Exactly.
How well can 4AM stand? They've been so good today in these edge guards. Can they get it done?
Can they be friends, or will they not be friends whatsoever at the end of the tournament? I mean, they sang Happy Birthday song to Xiao Lu, and it was Crazy's birthday. Forever getting some shots in, not getting a knock. That is huge, as Gapi was about to join the fight.
Meanwhile, Melifo just drives by all this. He's like, "Peace out, bros. I'm done. You guys have fun. You know, VLG, you already did us dirty."
And he might be going
getting
down
out of this
in the next couple of seconds. There are a lot of teams waiting for him.
Yeah.
Xiao Lu always getting that right side wing angle.
Yeah, Melifo is going to go down there, indeed. Okay, 4Evan has gotten the opening knock on to Deva now, as it is still Xiao Lu here watching. And it is Hikari. He's going to find Crazy. Okay, knock for knock so far, and we do have Hikari over here getting the res onto Deva. Deva, I don't know if this is going to be in time. The grenades have been so good for 4AM today. This one feels like it's going to be right on the money. Good enough to get the re-knock onto Deva right after he's up. Godby comes down, brings the hammer on top of Hikari. 4AM is so confident right now. It looks like everything they do is going to be successful, but Lambu does get a knock on Lu.
I think that's Xiao Lu. That's a second knock on him. So 4AM, they better come up right now. And one of the kills was actually stolen by Dumbo, I believe, all the way down from Pochinki's side. So that's not going to be too good, as Lambu is looking to get that point. One more for VLG. 4AM, they will also lose one.
Yeah, so it looked like it might just be a 4-for-0 wipe, but Lambu's able to come up, the play caller for VLG. hangs in there and gets one at least. We'll see if VLG can get it done and get any more. In the meantime, 4AM has kind of lost that aggressive edge that they had. However, Lambu is right near Forever, and Lambu doesn't really seem to be too aware that he's got a sneaky snake there.
Exactly, as Lambu has he's looking totally onto the opposite side towards Gavi.
Oh my god, all Forever needs is a pinprick of a head, and he can get this done. Just whiffs on the last bullet and isn't able to get it. He gets plenty of damage into Lambu. Lambu has to scramble to try to get some kind of healing off. He's going to need some help from his teammate, and Forever is so smart. Look at this. He knows right away that VLG might have somebody over there, but Lambu steps up and takes him down. Nice movement here by both teams, but it's going to be VLG that comes out ahead.
And down to 2-2 now as both 4AM, VLG, they do have some time. Peru is waiting for the winner to come down from that hill. But they do have the control, so not too bad for either teams.
This has been a really fun fight to watch.
These
because
two teams.
They're so smart, G-Cliff.
And there's so much history behind them, too. I'm liking it even more. But Lambo, I think he's just going to run away and take early control near the circle first. And then look for that late rotation from 4AM because they can't really go down towards the Pochinki side. Likely that those compounds, you're going to think those compounds has to be controlled by OG and Entus.
All right, dangerous moment for Spear while he comes up this hill without a lot of cover there. He's able to navigate it successfully, it looks like, and a good movement by Lambu to rotate ahead of 4AM.
And Afrika Freaks, they're actually coming up on top of these potato mountains after hearing that many shots. Quite not as fast in the rotation, but they might be able to catch some of the members of VLG in the middle.
So GEX is taking this. I've seen teams do this split a lot down in this valley, and it actually can kind of work because you can try to get the other teams to fight each other. The problem is that the teams on the hill are basically the same team. It's Tianba on both sides, so this might not work out as well as normal, not to mention the circle isn't on top of you as well, but Lurena takes a whole bunch of damage. 1 HP has to back off. Grenade outside of range to do any damage. Lin Shun, who was on fire earlier today, connects but isn't able to find a knock.
Yeah, that's going to be a real tough fight, and Gavi 1v4 gets a knock, escapes from that fight. Nicely done as VLG is still getting put some pressure, but these nades, oh, Yanli's not going to last long as he's basically alone here. It's a dip and goes down.
Yeah, Ming's able to line up both of those grenades right next to each other. Let's see if he can get another one to go. It hits some damage, half health onto Leo, but now it's going to be under from afar. Finds the knock onto M200. Lin Shun is able to find Leo here, though. Now it's Entus getting involved in this from long range, putting some shots, and Entus is quite good at sniping.
Entus, they have to bring Tiamba down from that top of the standings. They're getting another knock, and 200 is going to be bleeding a lot with that second knock now. Tiamba, they have to finish GEX at the same time, and this is not the best time to push because they just lost a member.
Yeah, Tianba isn't in a terrible spot. I think they're going to be able to get out of this. They might lose 1 or 2, but at the end of the day, they should be able to finish GEX off. Another good grenade. Doesn't get the knock onto CC. CC, somehow, some way, is able to get his first aid off in time. Now, there is a lot of smoke down, so Lurena not finding an angle into CC as the rest of Tianba gets across the road, and that's good timing here, but Mao Ye gets run over. He gets a knock, and Tianba says, well, that's cool, Barl, but you're done.
Totally done. And Yuhappy trying to take control over this as, like, not just pushing on top. Ning Ming right on top of them as Circle's closing against Tiamba. Lurena is trying to push from the side, coming up the hill.
Oh, New Happy, 2 knocks to open this one up, and they are doing a great job here, coming in at a great time. Oh my gosh, if Lycnon can land these shots.
Taking circle damage.
No, he can't do it. It's going to be Lurena who outduels him. Lycnon just could not get a handle on his shooting.
That was a pretty good timing of pushing, but still, Tiamba, they're strong. Their shots are connecting. He's the only one left. Can he actually survive and escape this trap?
Oh my gosh.
Not going to be enough.
Wow, Giao and New Happy picking up points where they can, and we can't give them enough credit for that rotation they made early on, G-Clef. They're salvaging something out of nothing, and 4AM is still doing stuff over up on the northern side. And speaking of doing stuff, OPGG with 2 left, a lot of teams down to 2 that are still picking up knocks and kills in the feed.
Crazy to damage all the way out far. That's at least like 400 meters out, and to get that first shot in, that was crazy. Almost got the member down, even Nifty. They did lose a member from that southern side.
And this situation looks a lot like what you were talking about earlier, G-Clef with Sun Sister, where they're late on these rotations and they're really slow on the backside, and everybody's kind of watching them and what's going on. Speaking of watching what's going on, yo! Great timing with that code, production staff. You got me right, set up well. Come on, guys, get that code in there, get those coupons. Get your votes in for which teams you think are going to win it. And it's going to be hard to pick Asia, G-Clef, because all these teams at the top are so close to each other.
And Hender's getting some more knocks all the way with the Twitter split, but look at this MCG. Yeah, taking away this great spot again as Griffin. They tried to challenge against them, but once you come into these close combat fights, multi-circle gaming, they're just so good. No one seems to be able to break them down in the full squad fight.
Yeah, I really agree with you. They seem so tough. They're so strong. All right, Sun Sister, a grenade right next to Crazy Sam. My word. My word. It's the shooting from Dumbo that does it, but that grenade certainly may have helped. It's hard to tell. It was, you know, bang, bang play there, but whatever. 4 AM now under fire. Crazy so hurt somehow, some way. Gets to a tree with a sliver of health. Sungjong with an SLR is going to watch this, but Godby up on top might be able to get an angle down into Sungjong there.
Yeah, only if Godby gets a knock, maybe Crazy will have a chance to... but it seems a little too hard that Sungjong gets a knock onto Godby. 4 AM might be done.
Yeah, poor Under stepped up to take some shots and gets shot in the back by OPGG for all that effort that he did. And I don't know what they can do here. I'm not exactly sure how many smokes that Crazy has left. He didn't step up close enough to the front of that. Those are good grenades because of the blue and the situation that Crazy is in, and he is super hurt. He gets some good shots. Sungjong should be able to line this up and take him down. Indeed, 4 AM is out.
And MTN reaches out all the way to the bottom and takes care of K7 at the same time. So MCG still in a pretty good control in the next circle. They do have the compound cleaned up most of the eastern side. So I think they're good. When they come out of the compound, should be only 2 or 3 teams left from the northern side.
Infantry's been quiet. They're still alive. I'm just throwing that out there as a potential point of interest for later in this. Land boost, no. You're done. Sorry, my man. Mill with a perfectly placed grenade finds the end of the day for VLG. But overall, still a strong performance in the first week for the team from Korea.
Yeah, they actually, after the fight against 4 AM, I thought they were close to being done by pushing, after getting pushed by Africa at the same time, but kept on for a pretty long time. 7th place finish is not too bad after losing that many members. Pero taking a lot of the space control, but I don't think they're strong enough to actually, to be honest, I don't think they're strong enough to actually get that much space control in the next circle. They should be gathering up all the way towards the northern side against Enters, against Africa. Those members can actually go down with a knock.
The hope for Pero is that, like, everybody kind of tears each other up on the southern side of the circle, and then they can have a fair fight against Africa and win that. But right now, it looks like OPGG might just get torn asunder by the combined fire of Entis and Infantry, who are setting up shop around them. Dumbo's already been down, of Alpaca hanging out on the very southwestern edge. Entis just full-on sends it right towards him. They have no fear. They know the situation. They've been watching the kill feed, and it's easy money for OGN.
Another kill. 6 kills in total already. Indigo's down, and I think he will might actually get the rest, but because Infantry's coming up, Indigo might not survive.
Oh, poor Kale. Oh no. It's Under who knocks Kale there. Disaster striking. Longster is going to take that point and say thank you. Sungjong does get a knock here. Indigo down as well, so quickly Infantry shows up, gets 2 of Entis out. It's up to Under and Sungjong to try to hold the line. No, it's going to be Under falling to bullying. Longsker over. Longsker finishes the job.
Great timing after seeing a knock all the way in the back. Indigo, the most powerful one right now, does go down. Without him, it was not enough to challenge against Ifty. Right time to push through. And they have actually found a pretty nice space, but the most powerful weapon, the Tsunami, MCG, they have started to spread. The waters are coming.
I love that.
You got to go towards the higher spot.
Yeah, definitely you want to get to the high ground here, no doubt about it. An important circle shift coming up for phase number 7. Who is going to find themselves a little bit more fortunate? It is MCG still has the compound. They still have that low ground, so they're able to there is that ridge on the outside of it they could potentially work with.
Yeah, man, out of the building, because there are some, it's not as steep, but once you stay in the building, all you can do is look towards the Freak of Freaks. You can't really look towards the west as you don't really have too much open angle out of the window. But because of that, I think Ifti and also Pero, they just have to clash into each other.
Well, I like what MCG tried to do here. They tried to get involved in the fight between Infantry and Entis. It just ended too fast. They weren't able to get there in time. Summer and Evil Lee are still hanging out, looking at the backside of Infantry, and Summer opens up with some shots onto 9. And Evil Lee's going to find another angle as well. Good call-outs from MCG to find that knock. Can they get the finish? Because they actually might be able to. Longster and Bullying are busy. Bullying gets knocked, and there you go. Infantry out quickly.
Immediately with Long DD, that XCD getting those shots, as well as MCG being involved. And 7 kills in total. They were just staying in these compounds, picking up kills after kills, cleaning up a lot of the squads that were coming from the eastern side of these compounds. And we're left with 3 teams.
Yeah, and only one South Korean team left as the hope for the country to get a win today. It's been all China so far.
Freak of Freaks, they do have high ground control, but if danger goes down right here!
Oh, no. Oh, my word. He was just lined up perfectly for Mill. Mill with a great angle from that tree, knowing the situation, knowing the terrain, and that's an easy point for Pero.
Yeah, they also had some trees to work with. And also in the circle, they could have forced a fight from Pero and MCG, depending on the next circle. I'm pretty sure they have some smoke because they had a lot of running rotation with not much resources used. But losing Dengche right there, basically.
Well,
let's see.
Let's say this for the Freaks.
Okay.
It's EJ and Hansia, the 2 best fraggers. I'd say. I think on that team. I mean, Dengche's quite good as well.
Yeah, EJ and NN.
Yeah, it used to be NN.
XNN,
so we should mention that. We've said it a lot this year. If you've been watching, especially the Korean PCS qualifiers, Hansia is NN. You guys remember the Freaks from last year? Same player.
He
used to be called NN. He's an amazing fragger.
And which I think of Freaks, just back off, let them fight, and look for those chances. Rotating out from this zone will be very tough, but force out a fight again, I think. It's a hard decision. I think Pero should just push onto Freaks because they have some time, but not too much angle because this is somewhat open area, and MCG's got a somewhat spread that you can't really make those big rotations anymore.
Well, the problem for these other teams is that MCG has this ridge line still, so if you step up anywhere into the center, it's almost like a mini crater on the inside of the middle of this circle. Everybody has a really challenging situation in front of them, particularly the Freaks, because they're outside of the circle.
And MCG, they're actually pushing Hansia, getting a knock. That's big. Might be another chance for Pero to actually strike onto them if they want to rotate west.
Yeah, this is Pero's moment, and they're doing that right now. They're heading down south and west. Really smart movement by Pero. It opens them up for a second to a Freak of Freaks, and it is really good shooting again from Hansia, taking down Mill. And I remember earlier this year, a 1v4 that Hansia picked up in Korea. Does he have some kind of heroics inside of him? No, it's going to be Tank taking him down. EJ gets the grenade onto Tank. EJ still alive, pushing up, going to get another point. Looking to take on the surviving 3 members of MCG by himself. No good. Too strong are the survivors. Summer did get res and finishes EJ off.
Was that good enough for the first chicken dinner for Pero, or is it going to be MCG for the first time getting that chicken dinner with 9 kills on them already? As Pero, they did get that res.
The rest of this lobby is rooting for Pero because MCG has overtaken Entis on top of the leaderboard, no doubt. Summer gets some damage into him. Backed off a little bit himself. Grenade up and over. Can it catch the backside of Long DD? Just a bit too far, but XDD has been knocked. Mill
Summer!
Oh my god, Summer's gonna find Long DD knocked as well. It's looking really good. Mill's gonna have to pull off a 1v3 right now. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He's trying to go over to the side. Long DD down. There is XDD still up. You can see that Mill kind of wants to get over there. I don't know that MCG is gonna allow it.
Okay, Evil Lee's position is way too good coming down from that high hill. Mill, I don't think he has too much of an option except when that nade connects, but Evil Lee's gonna strike from the side. Multi-circle gaming. They will grab the last chicken dinner and the first chicken dinner for themselves today.